I'm Bora Kazmirji. I sit on the advisory board for 2Interact, and I have with me today Yolanda Subramuni. How are you, Yolanda? Welcome.
Well, thank you, Bora. Thank you for asking, and thank you for inviting me to be here today. How are you doing?
I'm doing very well. We're very happy and very excited that you're on, because I understand that you and your team just went through the 2Interact workshop.
Absolutely. We went through the 2Interact workshop, and it was absolutely fantastic. So I'm quite excited to share my experience while being on that course.
Beautiful. Well, please do. How did you experience the virtual training session that you went through?
So I absolutely personally enjoyed the virtual session that we went through. It was really professionally done. And as you know, that people are the essence of any change, whether it's a team, if it's a business or an organization. And the most important contributor to any success is the way in which one actually communicates. So the workshop was so professionally done. I think the team did an absolute amazing job. The way in which they presented the content was really awesome. It really focused on practical examples, and it had a very natural flow to it. There was also lots of engagement and participation. I absolutely found that my team was fully engaged throughout the few days. You know, normally now that we're doing everything so virtually, you find people are distracted or on their phones. But I think the way in which these sessions were held made it so easy to stay engaged with all the breakout rooms and the activities and examples that we were sharing and exercises that was happening in those sessions. So I absolutely had a great time on those 3 days with Dion and the team.
Did the participants experience it as knowledge gained and practical in terms of application?
Absolutely. So we were on this while we were on this workshop, the team absolutely found it very, very valuable. The way in which they communicate. So one of the things that I think was quite key is the fact that on the course, you get to understand your own style and how you communicate, and also the importance of other styles and how to sort of flex your styles towards people. So I think there was lots of ahas in the session that we were at, and also very much created team success, and also a different way of how we actually communicate with each other in the team. So I absolutely believe that the team walked away with lots of knowledge. They also walked away with some really amazing tools, awesome tools. And I am very well aware that some of them have even tried this new way of communicating back at home as well. So absolutely, I think that that definitely was very beneficial for our team.
So the value was personal and professional. That's great.
Absolutely.
Yolanda, how do you think your organization benefited from this training?
So Bora, a very large chunk of the work that we do in our team or in our business is stakeholder engagement and engaging with sponsors. And so communication happens at various different levels with the various stakeholders and sponsors that we have, and ultimately also with the employees that are impacted by the change. So firstly, having a team that has shifted or changed the way or enhanced the way in which they communicate with these stakeholders has been very beneficial. There's also been larger influence that the team has as a result of being on this course, and that means that you could influence and get better buy-in from your stakeholders to lead, drive, and endorse these changes. So ultimately, if the changes are implemented effectively and they are successful and people get to embrace and adopt these solutions, it means that as a business, we are able to meet our objectives and meet that return on investment. So the way in which our organization benefited was that they now had a team that was able to better articulate themselves, was able to better influence people, and ultimately get changes happening within the business.
That's fantastic, Yolanda. Who do you believe should attend this type of a training?
So, Bora, I think everybody must attend this training. If I had money and I won the lotto, I probably would sponsor people to go on this training, because I think that there are so many ways that this training can help you personally and professionally. And if I'm talking in the professional space, I think people from an internal communications team would be quite key on going on this course, because the way in which you communicate, so the way in which you communicate with people is so important, and especially now with us being in this virtual environment, understanding how people communicate and what they actually respond to is quite key. And so I think internal communication teams are quite important to come on something like this. I also think a marketing team is also another area, as well as sales and service. And I think when you are working with projects, so if you have a project team, you kind of have to pull quite a lot of people together, and the way in which you have to organize and integrate things, I think those are the people that I would recommend to come on this training course.
It seems like anyone who has to execute critical communication would be able to benefit from this course, is what I'm hearing.
Absolutely right, Bora.
So Yolanda, do you have any other comments to make on the training or your overall experience with 2Interact?
Like I said in the beginning, I absolutely enjoyed the 3 days with 2Interact and the team, and I really feel that it's something that if I could send my family, I absolutely will, because I think that it's even helped my own relationship. So definitely personal, and absolutely from a professional basis as well. I think that the team is very professional. I think that they know exactly what it is that they're doing. They have got a wealth of experience. So I really enjoyed having to interact with them and really getting to learn new frameworks, new skills, and better ways of actually communicating and making a difference out there.
So not just professional value, but personal value as well.
Absolutely.
Yolanda, thank you so much for joining me here today. Your insight has been wonderful to hear. Thank you very much, and good luck to you in your further ventures.
Thank you very much, Bora, for having me. I appreciate your time as well. Thank you.